Have you ever felt totally drained, but you can't figure out why? Or maybe you feel like you're stuck in the same old loops, even though you're really trying to move forward. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. We're talking about how to reclaim your personal energy, which is, by the way, your most valuable resource, and use it to completely transform your life. So let's get right into it.
Let's just start with a really powerful question. Who are you when you're completely alone with your own thoughts? What's that background chatter in your mind really saying? Seriously, think about it. Because the answer to that question, well, it holds the key to just about everything. It points directly to where all your energy is actually going.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll figure out what this invisible leak is that's draining your energy. Then we'll get into the incredible power of focus, pinpoint exactly where your power is going, and understand the sneaky trap your brain sets to keep you stuck. And then, the best part, we'll give you the practical tools to reclaim control and build a brand new focused life.
Okay, let's start with that all too common feeling of just being drained. You know the one. It's not just in your head, I promise. It's a real thing, and the good news is it's a solvable problem. But it all starts with understanding what we even mean by energy in this context.
Personal energy isn't just about being awake versus being tired. No, it's way deeper than that. Think of it as the actual currency of your life. It is the vital force you use to create your reality, to feel motivated, to experience joy. It's everything. You know, this leaky bucket analogy is just perfect for explaining that feeling of being stuck. Imagine you're pouring all this effort, all these good intentions into your bucket, but your energy just keeps draining out through thousands of tiny, invisible holes. See, the goal isn't to just keep pouring more in, it's to find and plug the leaks.
And that right there brings us to the absolute core principle of this whole thing. The single most important factor that decides where your energy goes is your attention. It's a simple but incredibly profound law of our inner world.
This is it. This is the fundamental rule. Whatever you focus on, you are feeding with your life force. It doesn't matter if it's worries, past mistakes, or your biggest goals. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, period. And this comparison just brilliantly illustrates the difference. Scattered attention? That's like a dim light bulb. Sure, it illuminates a whole room a little bit, but it has zero power to actually change anything. But focused attention? That's a whole different story. That's like a laser. It's the same energy, but it's concentrated into this powerful beam that can literally cut through steel and create profound change.
So, the big question is, where are those leaks? Where are you sending your power, probably without even realizing it? Let's take a look.
All right, here are the usual suspects. The top 5 energy thieves. You've got replaying the past, worrying about a future that probably won't even happen, the endless scroll of comparing yourself to others, constantly reacting to every ping on your phone, and getting sucked into toxic environments. Every single one of these is a major hole in your bucket.
But why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Well, it's not a personal failing. It's actually a biological default setting. Our brains have this built-in trap, a kind of survival program that can keep us stuck if we're not aware of it.
Let that sink in for a second. Your brain is a literal record of your past. Its primary job is to recreate what's familiar, what it considers safe, even if what's familiar isn't what you actually want.
Think of your recurring thoughts and emotions like these well-worn paths in a forest. Your brain, because it wants to be super efficient, will almost always choose these easy paths. That's why it's so easy to slip back into old habits of worry or self-doubt. The path is already carved out and waiting.
And here's the crazy paradox of it all. Your brain's main goal isn't to make you happy. Its goal is to keep you alive. It prioritizes what's predictable over what's desirable. And what that means is it can get really comfortable in a familiar state of anxiety or unhappiness, and it will actively resist change because the unknown just feels dangerous.
Okay, so that's the problem and the science behind why it's happening. But here's the really good news. We are not our brains. We can consciously take the steering wheel and start to rewire these programs. So let's look at the toolkit for doing exactly that.
Here we go. 6 powerful tools. First, mindfulness. Just become the observer of your thoughts. Second, affirmations. Intentionally write a new script for your inner dialogue. Third, visualization. Live in your desired future before it happens. Fourth, gratitude. Shift your focus from what's missing to what's working. Fifth, breathing and movement. Change your physical state to change your mental state. And sixth, meditation. Clear out that mental clutter so you can sharpen your focus.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't just some feel-good fluff. Every single one of these tools is a practical, hands-on method for creating new neural pathways. You are literally, physically rewiring your brain to send your energy toward a completely new reality.
So what's the payoff? What happens when you consistently start plugging those leaks and redirecting your energy with real intention? Well, you start to create an entirely new reality for yourself.
The ultimate shift here is really one of identity. You stop being a product of your past, constantly just reacting to all that old programming. Instead, you step into the role of being the deliberate, conscious creator of your own future. You decide where your attention, and therefore your energy, is going to go. And that really leaves us with one final, powerful question that you have to ask yourself. Is the future that you want to create more important than the history that you've grown comfortable with? Because the moment you decide that it is, that's the moment you reclaim your power, you reclaim your energy, and you start changing your life for good.